This is Cinderella Stories with Ash and Sav. Ash, I am back from Kansas City. You are back from your little trip around the world around here these days.
Yes.
New York, Ottawa, Toronto, back.
Yeah, very exciting places. Party capital of Canada, Ottawa.
I love New York. Are you kidding me?
I love it.
I was jealous. I would rather have gone to New York than Kansas City, okay?
Oh.
It's true.
Tell me more things.
I love New York.
Okay, but wait, how good was your first football game? Because that was
sick.
your thing. You went to KC for your first football game.
Yeah. I went to Kansas City for my very first NFL game. It's crazy. I've never been to one.
Yeah.
And so
Overrated?
Not overrated. It was hard to appreciate because it was so cold. Like
Right.
you did say on the last episode that like you look. I was like, you were like
smiling with your teeth and not your eyes.
exactly.
Yeah.
Even though I wasn't even, my teeth were not
You're
even
just
out because it was too cold. Like I was just like, this is nice.
Hi.
Meanwhile, like literally, it was so cold. I had to like go back into the arena, go to the team shop, drop stupid money
To get warmed up.
I had to get heat, like literally like those like heaters.
The hot paws?
Yeah, those ones, which I've never used them in my life, and I'm born and raised in Canada.
Yeah.
Okay, I've never used. I've survived negative 40 degrees in Toronto before, back when it was like climate change wasn't a thing, and back when like 15 years ago, and I needed them at the game. Like
Right.
I had to put them in my boots, and even then, like it didn't even warm my feet. It just made them so that I could feel my toes still.
Yeah.
And
It's a
then
lot to ask.
yeah, and we had to get a blanket, and my girlfriend, like we just drastically did not prepare for how cold Kansas City gets.
I actually wouldn't even have thought that it would have been a cold climate place for whatever reason in my head. I
Me
think you'd be like,
neither.
don't they do like barbecue there?
They do.
Like
They had
Kansas
amazing
City barbecue, but it's like, to me, barbecue is synonymous with warm weather, so I
Yeah.
wouldn't have anticipated that it would be that freezing.
Oh, it was colder than Toronto. I kept on saying like, no.
It's a
this
dry
is colder.
cold.
Yeah.
It's a dry cold.
Because, well, I was talking to our editor, Evan, about it, and Evan was like, I think it's because they get like there's actually a legit reason. They get like two different wind fronts or something like that, like from the prairies,
Mhm.
but then also from the east or something like that. And I was like, that would explain it. Because I felt every single like cell in my body. That's how cold it was.
Oh, that's too bad.
Well,
Oh, what a shame.
So sad. So sad. I know. But anyways, so it was hard to appreciate the game,
Yeah.
but it was really cool. The atmosphere was cool. The fans were really like passionate. The Chiefs lost.
Yeah, they're out of the playoffs now for the first time in like over a decade.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it was cool.
It's
I know.
semantics, yeah.
Sure. But yeah, anyways, how was your like tour getting back into the lacrosse league?
It was good. It was just big backed in general. Like when you go to New York, you're there to like eat and drink, honestly.
Love that.
So that's what we did. We had some good meals. We had some good beverages. Went to like a cute little like bakery one morning that had like the best croissant of my life. So it was just good in that sense. But like, as you said, like the NLL was back. So I had a doubleheader in Ottawa and Toronto Friday and Saturday. So really like my Wednesday, Thursday was like team calls and talking to players and coaches. Like I think a lot of people don't understand like the level of preparation that can go into a game.
Yeah.
Even though from a sideline reporter standpoint, you get about like 2.5 minutes of airtime total, like on a good day. So we're talking to, at least in our case, because the NLL is so great with providing access to players and coaches. So every week we're talking to a coach and 2 players from each team. So that's 6 interviews that we're working on Wednesday and Thursday. But because I had a doubleheader, I had to add 2 additional coaches and 2 additional players.
Yeah.
So now I'm doing 10 calls in 2 days.
Oh my
like
gosh.
just trying to navigate that it's fine and it's necessary. But so my days in New York weren't like spent gallivanting, which I would have loved to do. I wanted to go like skating on a pond somewhere. I wanted to go to Rockefeller Center to see the tree. I wanted to do some like vintage shopping, but at least I was at a cool hotel, the Ace Hotel in Brooklyn. So, but just spent working. Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. Well, that's like typically what it is. People don't realize like, yeah, sideline reporting is a fun job. It's this, it's that, but like how much not so glamorous elements of that career go into the work. Like,
and no one sees like 90% of the work, which is fine. Cause like, I'd rather do it and be prepared in case than not and be like screwed.
You almost need a storyline on like just about every player that you think could have a good game.
It honestly is like living in the world of like delusion. You're like, okay,
it is
in my head this week. What could the storyline be in the game? Like what player is primed to pop off?
No,
what player is
literally.
primed to do this? So let me like ask theoretically about it just in case it happens.
You're playing like the numbers in your head almost being like, okay, so that player had a really bad game last game, so you know he's gonna come back and he's not gonna repeat that twice.
You're basically writing fiction.
Yeah, fan fiction in your head, yeah. And you have to like ask players like ahead of time. It's like, okay, so how are you gonna bounce back from this game?
Theoretically, if you were to have a really good game
to pop off,
yeah, what would you say? Yeah. Literally. But yeah, so it's good to be back. Good to be back and busy. We got another game on Friday. So
okay.
Never sleeps, which you know more than anybody as well.
Facts. And we need like a whole episode on like just sideline lore alone. Like the amount of stuff that happens as a sideline reporter, because you're in the trenches, you are in the thick of it, you are wired up. People could be like pulling your wires, like as I have a story about that, like, and then but
it was someone like, you had friendly fire. It was someone on your own team.
It be your own people sometimes.
Because like, so for people who don't know, when you're a sideline reporter, you have an IFB so you can communicate with the truck and hear the broadcast. And in the best case scenario, it's wireless. So you have just like a small little mic pack that you attach to either like the back of your bra or the waistband of your pants, or honestly, wherever is comfortable for you. Yeah. But sometimes if you don't have that wireless because they don't want to maybe spend an extra couple of dollars, or you're in a visiting arena, you have a big hefty, like it's not that big stuff.
Big chunk.
It's probably this big,
no,
but it's heavy too. It's like substantial, and then you have to plug your IFB into that, and then that is wired to like an input in the wall. And so anytime you walk around, you have just a wire like attached to you. Like think of reckless kids when they get backpacks from their parents, like the leash backpacks. That's like actually kind of what it is. But you need it to be able to communicate. And so that lends itself to a bunch of different challenges because you can't navigate seamlessly without realizing that you're like tethered to something.
Not to mention, as you mentioned, like off air, like if you are wearing a dress or like, you know, a cute outfit, as a lot of sideline reporters do, you have to hold said heavy pack. You can't just like, you can't really attach it anywhere. So
yeah, it's like holding your notes, holding your microphone, maybe a pen, trying to do the story, look on cam, look cute, and then like sometimes walk and talk at the same time because you're on cam in one place and you need to finish the story in another place. So it's just, it's the trenches, but sideline is not for the weak. So definitely don't let anyone ever tell you that, oh, it's just sideline reporting, No, that's where the real war heroes are.
Like facts. And not to mention in those 30 seconds that you have for a hit, you gotta be perfect.
I know.
Because you don't have like time to really like mess up and recover, or like if you have a stutter, then like you might not have another hit in for like a while. So that's the last thing in your mind, is the last thing in like everyone's mind, like, or like, but it's funny, it's actually not the last thing in everyone's mind because the game goes on. Yeah. But it's definitely the last thing in your mind. You put that pressure on yourself. So
no, I'm excited though. And there's like a lot of good stuff to talk about. So like, I don't know what you want to dive into upon your return. What story in our lineup are you most passionate about?
Yeah. Well, I think that we should just get straight into the good stuff with the Winter Olympics around the corner too. Okay. This kind of sets it up really nice, is the fact that like, so we all know that USA and Canada have this crazy rivalry, right? There's actually literally a rivalry series in women's hockey dedicated just for this matchup alone.
Yeah.
And it kind of came about, I believe it was like 2018, 19, when I guess the people wanted more, because meeting in the World Championships wasn't enough. Also, meeting in the Olympic finals wasn't enough. And so like, you're going to see this like rivalry play out once every 4 years, or, you know, maybe even once a year at the World Champs. But so they created this whole like rivalry series. So here we are. This is the first time in 2025. This is the first time that Canada got completely swept. And in this series, there's at least like 5-6 games. It depends on the year, but there's at least 4 to 6 games every single year. And so it's very telling, especially going into the Winter Olympics, and how Canada performed was not great. And the reason why this also holds weight is because even though this is on paper, you could say it's kind of exhibition, it doesn't really like lead up to anything in particular. Mm-hmm. These are kind of where like the lineup changes are made, where the roster decisions could be made, and like a lot of other team transactions could happen to define what the Olympic team is going to be. Yeah. And Canada is not looking so hot. They also lost the World Championship this year to Team USA as well. So that's a bit of a call out for Canada to like wake up a little bit getting into the Olympic Games.
There's a lot to kind of dive into, but I think that if you're not a fan of hockey, but I think most people are fans of the Olympics, so they would like understand the Canada-U.S. hockey rivalry.
Yeah.
And that really is what spurred a lot of the conversation about not only do we need to see these two teams more on the ice against each other, we need to see women in hockey more on the ice in general.
Yeah.
PHF. So there was the Dream Gap Tour, there was the PHF, and then that all culminated into the PWHL as we know it now. But it was spurred on by that rivalry, Canada-US. And then every other nation was like, down back in the distance, like you were following the car and I was showing you where to go and I made a left on a red light and you didn't make it. Like that's how far behind you were and you had no other direction of like where to go. So this Canada-US thing is big time. And I love your point about like it's setting things up for the Olympics because everyone's always kind of in that vein. Like even women's soccer in the national scale, USA lost a game for the first time in ages during their friendlies. They're like shaking in their boots. Casey Stoney of the Canadian women's national team, the head coach, is like, we look like girls among women out there sometimes in our friendlies. Like, and that's not even going to be a factor until 2028. So with Italy right around the corner, literally 70 days, 75 days, something like that, that's going to be a big factor. And I go back to funding always. Follow the money is always a sentence that has weight and carries weight. And so when it comes to Canada, there was a new budget that was dropped. Not like it's a single. The new Prime Minister, Mark Carney, dropped the budget. And there was, like with his album cover, budget dropped. Da, 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 da. I don't know why I said it that way. I don't know what's wrong with me. Anyway, there was no additional funding for sport in Canada.
Yeah.
There was no additional funding for sport in Canada. And then like you look at the United States, it's like they just got someone that donated $100 million for athletes after they retire starting in Italy. They each get a stipend of $200,000 each to help ease them into retirement. They have $100,000 insurance plans that are provided for them initially. There's just like millions and millions and millions of dollars that are provided to USA Olympic Committee and their organization and their athletes to make sure that Team USA is always at the forefront. And so again, hard work beats talent unless talent works hard. Yeah. And it's like Canadians have had the talent specifically when it comes to hockey, but the money's not working for them. Yeah. And so therefore it's holding them back in certain regards. Yeah. And that's largely how I feel about this, because when we're talking about they're getting beat by the US, 4-1 was the final in the last game. The day before that was 10. They scored 10 on them.
10. The U.S. scored 10 on Canada.
10-4, I think it was.
Yeah.
10-4. You're going to be 10-4?
Bruh.
Someone needs to die before I get beat 10-4. I'll call Tanya Harding before someone beats me 10-4.
No, literally.
Like,
I've never played hockey in my life, bro. But like 10-4 is crazy.
I have, and it would feel like
yeah.
Losing 10-4 would feel like absolute
yeah. Absolutely.
So you guys are getting mollywopped by the US and it's in a sport that you're supposed to own. So there's going to need to be a come to Jesus moment. There's going to need to be a look in the mirror and figure out what's going on. I don't necessarily think that when the stage is set, ideally, it won't be that much of a shellacking, but nonetheless, you got to go where the money is. And quite frankly, there is a huge disparity in what Canadians are being offered in terms of support to play high level sports and to compete in the Olympics. And also I would mention Paralympics as well, because they are also Canadian Olympians and there is just no dollars in this. So how can you expect people to perform in an optimum way when there's no funding?
It's also weird because you would assume that in the nation being Canada, in the nation of Canada, that women's hockey would get a good amount of support, like a good amount of like funding.
If anything was going to.
And don't forget that like the COC and like the structure of funding in Canada for sports goes to the medalists. Like when they win, the most likely to medal. Yeah. And Canada women's hockey is by far like the most likely to medal. Like if anyone's going to do it, it's almost like a given. Canadian women's hockey is like top tier.
It's
and
a premier billing.
It's
that's
literally
the ticket that you want to get when you're going to the Olympics and be women's hockey.
If it is a matter of like that their specific funding got cut or they need more because inflation these days, let me tell you about this economy.
In this
economy. But like then it's like it's a shame. But I also feel like, and I would have to do like more research, I think, and look deeper into this, but like, is the team in transition? Because this is really uncharacteristic of Canadian women's hockey. In general, once again, you lost like the world championships, which is kind of like the biggest lead up to the Olympics. If the Olympics are like the Super Bowl, then the World Champions of the playoffs, and the Rivalry Series is kind of like finals-ish energy.
The playoffs, just to like get to the Super Bowl.
No, the Rivalry Series is like just like kind of like
the playoffs.
Not playoffs, because the World Championships would be like playoffs.
Could it be like the quarterfinals versus the semifinals?
Everything leads up to the Olympics.
All roads lead to the Olympics. All roads lead to the Olympics. That's what we're trying to say. No, for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah, words are hard today for both of us.
Yeah, it's really hard right now.
And comprehension, apparently.
Yeah. Well,
my bad.
It's okay.
My
bad. Anyways, and so it's I don't know if this is kind of a wake up call for Canadian hockey. Mm-hmm. But that said, I'm like, or are they purposely?
No. Is
it psychological? Is it up here?
Savannah.
And they're like, we're saving it. We're going to catch you off guard by the time the Olympics come.
I was going to be
tinfoil
leaving the year before another tinfoil hat moment, honestly. And I was happy to do so.
Can't leave the year without tinfoil.
Why would they do it on purpose? Why would they feed...
Because it's an Olympic... It's going into Olympic...
Why would they feed the U.S.'s ego and confidence?
To catch them off guard. Like, oh, we beat Canada all these times.
No, for sure.
We beat Canada all these times. Mm-hmm. We're gonna beat them again. And then and then our girl
that
Marie,
tastes good. Yeah.
Our girl Marie comes out and she goes off. She goes crazy on them.
Step up, Canada.
Anyways, all right.
Step up, girls. Because Savannah will be there watching and booing you in real time if needs be on my behalf.
Facts.
I'll send a voice note. Play this. Play this in the venue.
Plays for the girlies in the locker room.
Listen, ladies.
Listen.
You just step
tie
up
your skates.
Lace them up.
Lace
them
up
tight. Get some hot pockets if you need.
Pockets, yeah.
I understand there's elements involved.
Facts.
And let's keep it pushing. But 10-4, unacceptable. Swept, unacceptable. So these are coming from the Olympic gold medalists in 2022, 2014, 2010, 2006, 2002. So like, y'all got to get it together.
Yeah, facts. Speaking of getting it together, NWSL, Trinity Rodman. Let's go back to that saga. Where are we at now?
Every week, honestly, it feels like something else is happening. So like quick Cole's notes for those who haven't really been keeping up with the story or haven't heard about it. Essentially, Trinity Rodman is one of the biggest superstars in soccer. She plays for the U.S. women's national team. She plays for the Washington Spirit. Her contract is up. She signed at the time a record-breaking 4-year, $1 million contract. And now she needs to re-up.
Yeah.
So the Washington Spirit were like, we need to have this girl here. Like she needs to be in our ranks. She's one of us. She's going to, first of all, just from a soccer standpoint, she's going to be elite. And then from a merchandising and revenue standpoint, people are going to want to come see her, buy her merch, et cetera, et cetera. So they offer her a 4-year, $4.4 million contract, basically. So $1.1 million a year, but it's backloaded. So it's making sure that the next 2 years, the salary cap is not going to be just all tied up in Trinity, that they're going to have an opportunity to pay some of her teammates, get talent around her. Because from a standpoint of competitive sports, what's the point of having a superstar surrounded by scrubs? Like that's not going to yield positive results. It's not going to be fun for anybody. And there's going to be resentment, honestly, towards the star who's getting all the money. Why do we suck? Ask Trinity. As Trinity and her Louis Vuitton luggage. Like there's a level of animosity that can be brought up from that.
And what?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
double crossbody. Yeah, rolling my trunk.
Yeah.
But Washington proposed this backloaded contract that would pay her less upfront and more as the league grows and theoretically TV deals are re-upped and therefore more money and there's more league revenue because players get a share.
Yeah.
The league turned around and said, no, absolutely not. It's not illegal, but it circumvents the spirit of the rule. And so Commissioner Jessica Berman vetoed it. As a response to that, the Players Association filed a grievance on Trinity Rodman's behalf, stating they issued it based on this one section, section 13.6, which states a player's free agency rights supersede any other inconsistent NWSL rules, regulations, handbooks, or competition guidelines. Then also cited section 8.1, which highlights no threshold for maximum player salaries exists, only a minimum salary standard for players. So why are you telling us no when her rights supersede everything and there is no maximum that's been established in the CBA? So
clocked it.
More development. Now, As a result of this, all the stakeholders have gotten together and the owners have voted yes on implementing a high impact player rule.
Yep.
The MLS has something similar. I know, but they have a rule where you can bring up to 3 players who are exceptional players. And what do they call it? The designated player rule. And that means that I can pay Savannah. So Savannah's the girl that we want on the team. She's next level. She's coming from Europe. She's won all these things. She is that girl. But her valuation is like $1.5 million. We can't afford that because it's eating up more than half of our salary cap. So what we're going to do is we're going to designate her a high impact player, which means say 80% of her salary is covered by the team off the books, off the salary cap books. And then the 20% is charged toward the salary cap.
Okay.
So it allows for you to get paid what you want without all of it counting against the salary cap to surround these exceptional high-level players with more talent.
So you're saying that 20% is paid by the team itself. And
Under the salary cap.
Under the salary cap.
And then 80% is paid from the team, however they want to pay for it.
Off
Out
books.
of pocket. Out of pocket.
Oh, so they can go to their sponsor being like, so like.
They could do whatever they want to get the money.
Really?
So what they're working on currently is what are the parameters to name somebody a high impact player?
Yeah.
What does that entail?
Okay.
Because there needs to be some balances and checks in place. And so once they determine what those are, then that mechanism will be put in place. So not only is Trinity Rodman breaking convention in a ton of different ways with her blockbuster deal in 2022 when she first signed it, now she's set to be the highest NWSL paid player in the history of the league.
That's insane.
Rules and conventions are getting put in place to allow for players of her magnitude to remain in the United States and play in the NWSL instead of allowing that talent to go off to Europe.
That's when you know that you are truly a superstar and an emerging one, because when you are getting organizations to change the rules for you.
When you are getting owners and the union to work in conjunction
Everybody
for you,
facts.
that says a lot.
A lot. And the fact that they're willing, I was like saying like they're willing to basically go to court for this.
Yeah.
As they should. But like that just also tells you just like how of an impact player, high impact player she is. And also I think that this is a great move for the NWSL, seeing that everything goes through and everything, because I think that now the NWSL could really put their like hat into the arena in the international scene of attracting good players. Because like a lot of players, don't get it twisted, like U.S. players, Canadian players, a lot of them like don't get me wrong, like they want to have that European experience, but people love being home too.
Yeah.
They love being on home soil, you know, even close to home is better than like a 9-hour flight away sometimes.
Different time zone is a killer.
Big time.
I think that's the biggest thing too. It's like I can't even talk to the people that I love.
Yeah.
I can't even FaceTime the people that I love because when I'm awake in the middle of my day, they're sleeping.
Facts.
So it's inconvenient for somebody or it's inconvenient for both people.
Yes.
When it's overseas.
And so you like the NWSL having this new like rule potentially come to fruition here. It's helpful for Trinity in this immediate case. And it's kind of funny. Sometimes it takes immediate cases. Like we need a solve now solution for things to actually like really change in the long term as well. But then it also goes back to like our Canadian
Olivia Smith
that recently signed over to Europe. Like in cases like her, well, maybe it's a bit more attractive if they can figure out the salary portion. I'm not saying, once again, not saying that like you don't want that European experience, but even if you do have that European experience and you're still a star in Euro, maybe you want to come home someday. But maybe you want to make the numbers work, but you're like, but they really can't pay me like what I'm really worth. Yeah. But like now it's like, well, maybe we can. Yeah. So I'm a big fan of this. I like this whole working together, finding a solution thing.
Well, yeah, and like to your point, like Livy Smith, she plays for Arsenal. She had the highest transfer fee ever recorded in women's football.
1.1.
The one thing I will say is that obviously in Europe, the developmental process has been established and has like its feet in the ground. And so you're not going to get that in the USA just at this point. But one of the things that this also amplifies is that the league has not been prepared for the influx of interest and success that the NWSL has brought them. And I think that's evident as well. And I'm not sure that you necessarily could have been because it's basically underestimating the growth factor how much this league is growing, how much people are interested, what's going to be the next broadcast rights deal, what's going to be future salary caps, because everything that's been built, and the reason that Jessica Berman said that that contract was against the spirit of the rule is assuming the floor is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Is assuming the floor is what's possible as opposed to imagining what the ceiling could be.
Yeah.
And so it actually is a positive thing, not only that they're working for this high level player exemption, but that high impact player exemption, I should say, but it's that they're also sitting there saying, wow, okay, maybe we need to expand our thinking on what's possible on the growth rate of this, because obviously you don't want to, scale too quickly, but this is a signal that women's soccer, NWSL, isn't going anywhere, and it's going to be something that's going to continue to thrive in the ecosystem of women's sports.
Yeah, absolutely. I see it as also an overall commentary on women's sports as well, about like leagues either choosing to evolve with their stars or scramble because of them.
Yeah. And fight against them.
Exactly. And the NWSL, like in their last CBA negotiations, like they did so much, like they had so much progress made, I think, where there was no draft. There is no draft.
And then there has to be agreement on trades as well. Like the players get to decide yes or no.
Yeah. There is so much flexibility and restructuring of just the way that even sports, men or women, like is handled. And the NWSL has kind of been a trailblazer in that regard.
Yeah.
And I think that other leagues, WNBA, can take notes on how they treat their players. So
the W back on the hot seat. Why can't they get it right,
bro?
It feels like it's always something.
And
maybe that's like the pragmatic approach too, where it's like, depending on how you view it, is just like not believing enough in the girls, not believing enough in the product, that it could accelerate and reach heights that you never anticipated.
Yeah. When we did our deep dive of like the league, and if you guys haven't seen it, like go check it out. In our last episode, did a deep dive on the CBA where everything's kind of landing now. But exactly to your point, like I think there's potentially, you could speak to maybe even a lack of trust or belief in the players for being that product that's going to sell continuously in the long form as well, which is insane because the numbers say otherwise in so many different like
the problem
lenses.
Is that like a lot of times when you have these business leaders in place, they don't necessarily have like, because they're working on the numbers and the charts and the projections, they don't have that like delusion that sometimes that you
that
need
silent reporters have.
Yeah, like that sometimes you need to anticipate greatness.
Yeah.
Sometimes that you are hoping like best case scenario syndrome, where it's like, oh, I always feel like everything's gonna work out.
Yeah.
And like you need to be a little bit crazy to think that, I think, because sometimes it doesn't work out, but then it's like you flip the script to be like, okay, maybe that wasn't meant for me then. Maybe that was like a door closing so I could pivot to somewhere else. And I think that that's just what's been happening in women's sports. It has been tenuous for a long time, and maybe the revenue hasn't been there and the attendance hasn't been there, but that's a thing of the past now. So I'm looking forward to see what future deals, CBAs, contracts get put in place, because it feels like it's going to be something that no one ever thought was possible.
Absolutely. Well, something that I didn't think was possible was a modern day rematch of basically Billie Jean King and Bobby Riggs, question mark? Question mark?
Yeah.
Set us up.
So yeah, the Battle of the Sexes. I feel like you've heard of it though before, right? Of course, yeah. I feel like everyone's heard about it. Okay, so the original Battle of the Sexes took place because Bobby Riggs, a former tennis champion who was 55 at the time, he took on Margaret Court and he beat her. Billie Jean King, she didn't love that.
Yeah.
So she said, this old man thinks he can beat me. She's in her prime. He's 55 years old. She says, yeah, let's do it. Let's play for some cash. They played for $100,000, I believe it was at the time, which like valuation purposes, like $1 million now, basically. And she wiped his butt. Like she wiped the floor with him. 6-4, 6-3, 6-3 straight sets in Houston. Winner take all. 90 million people worldwide tuned in for that.
Wild.
You have to imagine the magnitude of something along those lines, right? It's 1973. Sexism is running rampant. The disparity between women and men's sports. This is like first when Title IX was starting to happen as well. So we were in an era where people and institutions were being forced to invest in women's sports. It's not something that they necessarily believed in or something that they had any interest in doing, but were being brought to the forefront of like, this is a thing that needs to happen for a multitude of reasons. Not only is it the right thing, there are like feasible benefits about doing it. So yeah, King was 29 years old. She won the best of 5 set match, and it was recognized and still is recognized to this day as one of the biggest flashpoints and key moments in the gender equity movement. And that's what Billie Jean King is known for. Since then, she's done so much. Speaking of the PWHL, she's like a partial investor in that as well. So she is all about women's sports. But yeah, so she doesn't like it.
Yeah. No, she doesn't like
this new battle of the sexes.
But like, so context as well. There's a new battle of the sexes happening.
Aryna Sabalenka and Nick Kyrgios are going to face off in Dubai over the Christmas break.
Dubai of all places.
First and foremost.
Bro.
December 28th, I believe it is. And they are going to play. And so here are a few things to take note of. Sabalenka is the world #1 ranked tennis player.
Currently.
Nick Kyrgios is, I think he's ranked like 300th in something. He's fallen off.
Wikipedia has him as inactive, which I know he's still kind of playing, but
yeah, like he's fallen off. He used to be, his serve is massive. He has the skill set. The thing about Nick Kyrgios is that he was always deemed as like somebody who didn't take his craft serious enough. He had a couple anger issues, a few outbursts. And so he was kind of like the bad boy of tennis, if you will, spoke what was on his mind. There's a certain etiquette that you carry in tennis that he did not display.
He was still decent though. Like
he was good.
He was still at his highest, at his peak, he was ranked 13th.
Yeah, like he can play tennis.
Yeah,
like
he could play.
He could play. He's a baller.
He just has a reputation around these streets.
Yeah, he just has a tough reputation. So he was always like the will he or won't he guy to get over that hump.
Yeah.
So they're doing 3 sets. Only 1 serve, which like, again, they're adapting the game for equality, which Billie Jean King did not do, by the way. And then Sabalenka's side of the court will be 9% smaller because they've determined through some kind of sports metric that that's the variance in which female athletes move compared to their male counterparts. So to give her a chance, they're shortening the court by various dimensions by 9% so she can cover ground like she's supposed to against somebody of his magnitude and his serve and stuff like that. And it's just like, I understand the interest in watching women and men play each other. I get why that's something that piques the interest. I don't know in this instance if this is worth it. Like, what's it for?
No, it's for entertainment.
It is for entertainment. And that's okay sometimes, but also it's like, what are we doing?
I watched the interview with Aryna talking to Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah.
And she literally said, oh, this is just for fun.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, but like your fun game could be hurtful to the overall like game of tennis. And like she said in the interview with Jimmy, like she was like, listen, this is a win-win for me and a lose-lose for him. But
okay.
And she didn't explain why. She didn't go into the details as to why. But I think she sees it as, if I win, then I win against this guy. If I lose, well, they're going to say, she's a woman. What did you expect? And I think that's why she's seeing it as, it's a win-win for me. What would you expect? Like, no. So I don't like that knowledge. And I don't agree with that line of thinking. And then for him, she's saying lose-lose because if obviously on that side, if he loses against her, then it's a bad look for him and kind of proves her point of how she's better than him, whatever. But then like also if he wins, then it's like, well, what did you expect? And so, but who has more at stake to lose here? It's her. She's #1 in the world. She has nothing to prove. And not to mention, I just don't like the fact that like time and time again, like women are constantly getting like compared to men, like, or like having to prove the value of the sport to a man. Like, what are we doing this for? Why do we have to like cross lanes all the time in order to basically have the societal narrative, and whether she's doing it for fun or not? Because listen, I play against guys on the basketball court all the time. Yeah. Sometimes I win, sometimes I lose.
Right.
I don't really care. That's just for fun. There's no cameras, there's no nothing. Not to mention, like, I don't know, for me personally, it's not serious. But like, why would you on like a professional level almost like have to justify your worth? Because that's how people are going to see it. people are not just gonna see it as like, oh, that's a fun matchup between two friends. No, they're gonna see it as, oh, women's tennis versus men's tennis. And they're like the same game, but like different anatomy to it, straight up. Like, and it's just, I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like the fact that there's some undertone of social commentary of you have to prove your sport's worth in comparison
by beating a man.
Exactly, in comparison to a man by like what? Competing against him, beating him. I just don't like it at all.
I don't have a problem with them playing. I think that they probably could have done a different brand instead of Battle of the Sexes and banking on
that's just money.
The recognition of the Billie Jean King, Bobby Riggs battle. I think when you're already making allowances to try and make the playing field equal, I think that's insulting. I think if the court is the size of the court, then that's what it is. I think if tennis is 2 serves, then that's what it is. I don't think that starting it off by being like, hey, Sav, let's race. I'm going to give you a 7-second head start and then I'll try. Because that's kind of what it feels like. So if in fact you want to just go and see who has it that day, then just let them play. I would say additionally, I am a fan of Nick Kyrgios. I thought at the time.
You love a bad boy.
Period. Not a read. Not my face.
Caught.
No, I'm glad that you guys are getting to know us on the podcast.
She has a type.
I love a light prior. But I think that he brought something to the sport that it like kind of needed, like a little bit of an edge. Like everyone was saying the right things, doing the right things. And in some cases he was going a bit too far depending on who you ask, but he was also saying sometimes the thing that was on people's minds.
Yeah.
However, in 2021, he was accused of pushing his girlfriend at the time. He did plead guilty to like a 4th degree assault. No conviction was entered. That was kind of like the agreement that they made. Both sides agreed to the facts at hand, which means he's like, yeah, I pushed her, she fell. She's like, yeah, he pushed me, I fell. And that was the resolution of it. So I also think that like, if you're looking for something to talk about and you're like, okay, man versus woman, maybe there's like a different person that you can choose in this regard, especially because there's going to be so much time into it about like equity and feminism and equality. And so choosing somebody who has something that's so easy to look up and find and throw in the face of everybody who might be supporting this, I don't necessarily think that that's like the best thing from a marketing standpoint. Now, in that same vein, he was apologetic. He didn't say it didn't happen. He kind of took responsibility. There was some mental health stuff going on with him that he actually tried to plead as like the reason that he did it. The judge rejected that claim as well.
Like so that judge.
The judge was like, mental health, like, I don't know what to say. Like, you were depressed, but you didn't need to push her kind of
Facts.
thing. So, yeah, you know what I mean? But again, I don't mind them playing. I just don't understand like what people think is going to happen with this. And she's already playing at a quote unquote advantage. That in of itself, even if she does well with all these protections in place, that's going to be the comment. Oh, well, the court was 9% smaller. Oh, well, they only had 1 serve.
Yeah.
They're already building in excuses for if she wins. And then if she loses, it's like she couldn't even win and she had these protections.
But you know what's funny? On the opposite side of that, I see it also. Okay, so I made it clear. Like, I don't really agree with this because also, like, out of all the sports in the entire world, women's tennis and men's tennis might be the most equitable in terms of like revenue and broadcast deals and like all the things that like you get basically. It's like, it's probably out of all women's sports to men's sports, the same sport.
Okay.
I think that they're the closest to like being like equally watched and equally like whatever. I'm sure there's still a disparity, but it's not by the same gap. A lot of
tournaments give the same purse now.
Yeah.
For men and women's
champions. And it's not, and there's not as big of gaps or no gap comparably to like a women's basketball to a men's basketball still, you know? And so that's why I'm like, that's why I disagree with this, because at the time when Billie Jean
not
King,
our girl Billie Jean,
when our girl Billie
with the big B,
with the big B, Billie, when she was doing it, that was not the case.
No,
that was not the case. And so
not.
It was to put women's tennis on the map and prove a point and be like, oh yeah, we could do it too. But I also thought about when you talk about the rules in particular, being like, okay, they're adjusting the court and stuff for her. It reminded me of the NBA All-Star Weekend, not this year, but I believe last year,
2 years ago.
2 years ago, when they decided to do Sabrina versus Steph.
Yeah.
But, and now correct me if I'm wrong, I think they still used
The NBA 3.
Yeah, they used the NBA 3.
Yeah.
And I don't, did she use a women's basketball or a men's basketball?
I think she was able to use women's basketball.
Okay, so so that's fine. But Steph won, not by much, but Steph won.
Yeah.
And I was still kind of like, okay, but Sabrina had to adjust to an NBA 3. Now, don't get it twisted. When you watch Sabrina's highlight clips and footage and stuff, when she's, making her threes in the Liberty, she's shooting from NBA distances pretty easily.
Yeah.
It's not like it's like, whoa. But that said, I think when the line is just even like physically drawn back mentally, it's just the same time when like you go from high school basketball to like college basketball, university basketball, and all of a sudden like your high school 3, we couldn't have the end of the year without it. Put it on speaker. Let's hear it. Woo.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello.
Hello. Hi. You are now on Cinderella Stories. Say hi. Introduce yourself.
Controversial.
Yeah, go ahead. Oh, actually,
We
talk
could
to us.
comment about equal pay.
No, give us your review on what's the gay hockey story TV show?
Oh, Heated
The
Rivalry.
gay hockey story.
Heated
TV
Rivalry?
show. You mean the cultural moment that's defining 2025 right at the buzzer beater
Facts.
Yeah. So you hated it.
of the year? Yeah, I hate it.
Ah!
Yeah, ew. I don't want that on my TV screen.
Oh my gosh.
I gotta go.
But also, episode 4 was like beautiful from a storytelling perspective. It's not just sex,
I'm crying.
It rarely ever is.
There was still sex in that episode though.
There's
But yeah.
There's still sex, though, right?
Yeah.
No, there was still sex, but it was also tied to emotions this time. Not
Yeah,
just, like,
I agree.
Not just
the heat
hooking
of the
up.
moment,
Not just
Yeah.
hookup culture.
Okay, wait. Whoa, spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
Sav's like, I wasn't watching it if they
No.
were fucking.
I didn't say who. Maybe other
Didn't say who.
Yeah. No, I'm not. I'm
Okay.
not gonna spoil it.
But also, like, spoiler alert for those who have not watched the show at all.
Don't watch with your
There
parents.
is sex
Do not
in it.
watch with your parents. Do not watch with anybody that you'd be
Do
uncomfortable with.
not. No.
You watch with your parents?
No.
Oh my god, our intern Haley said she watched with her parents.
That's true.
That would mortify me.
First episode? That's like arguably one of the worst ones.
Like your dad? Your mom. Honestly, I'd prefer to watch with my mom than my dad. Not yours?
Yeah. No, I don't really.
I was like, oh, this is how the gays do it. This is how the gays do the sex. My mom had too many questions.
Honestly,
All
they're
right.
probably like, damn, we got a lot to learn.
Okay, I gotta go. I'll call you back. Thank you for making an appearance. And I need to put my shit on D&D is my lesson.
Yes, you do. Goodbye.
Love ya.
crying. Oh my gosh. Okay, wait. Tell the people who was that.
That was my friend Sebastian. Gay icon Sebastian. Darcel Sinclair. Yeah.
Wow.
He's on a dog walk right now, I think.
Find him on
and he's
LinkedIn.
walking his dog. Yeah. No, find him on Grindr. He'd appreciate that more, I think. No?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, that's
I
fair.
think
He's
so.
single.
Fair.
Anyway,
Help your boy out.
equity.
Anyways,
in the women's sports space.
Also, we will probably talk about Heated Rivalry.
No,
at
for
some
sure.
point.
Next episode. Anyway, equitable resources in women's sports space. But
Yes.
okay, so this is the last thing I'll say. And obviously, like, whatever thoughts and feelings you have, like, I'm here, I'm sat for it. But it reminds me of when Shaq was like perpetuating the lower the rims in women's basketball to make it something that people will want to watch.
Yeah.
Do you remember that conversation?
Absolutely.
That's what this battle of the sexes kind of reminds me of. And you made such a good point. Like, why do the lanes have to intersect? Why can't they just be in tandem down the highway? Like, there's a
Yes.
highway and there's a South Service Road. They go in the same direction. Obviously, the women's sports is the highway. The men's can be the South Service Road, obviously. But like, let's do something for real. But two things do not need to be the exact same to be enjoyed.
Facts.
Like, there's different genres of movies. There's different genres of music. There's different types of food. Like, one being good doesn't make something else less good or bad.
Yeah.
And that's always the thing for me with women's sports. It's like, I don't mind playing against a guy. I don't care if I win. I don't care if I lose. I feel like for them, it's more of an ego thing if they lose.
Yeah.
They're like, I can't believe I lost to someone with ovaries.
No,
and you're like, yeah,
literally.
you hate to see it. Must be so tough. Like,
No,
life, what a drag life is.
Flex right now real quick, but like I beat a guy yesterday. That's not even.
You just said guy.
Whatever.
I'm happy for you.
I beat a man yesterday. This is a good thing.
I put hands on him.
When a woman.
Wait, you beat?
I
like
defeated
boxing?
him. No,
like bare knuckle. Oh,
no,
never mind.
no.
Never mind. No, you didn't.
Not that.
Not with your
Not
punch.
that. No. Basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Just to be clear, basketball.
I tussled.
I beat a man yesterday in basketball, and no joke, when he said to me, he's like, I'm going to stay up late at night tonight thinking about this. And I'm like, I'm not. Like, what?
No.
Even if you won, I'm not thinking about
That's
this.
what I'm saying though.
Like, and it's like
fragile.
And also
fragility.
like the crazy part is that like it's not like he played post-secondary. Like,
no.
And he did put a lot of respect to my name. He's like, no, you're really good, whatever.
But the way that men think that they should just be able to beat someone who's like actually practiced excellence.
For a long time.
I told you about the guy that I went on a date with, right? That was like trying to like belittle our podcast over eggs. First of all, how dare you ruin my favorite meal of the day?
Did you? You did not tell me this.
I was like, he's like, oh, I see. So first of all, he didn't. First of all, he didn't tell me about the fact that he was like trying to get his feet into sports broadcasting, like when he was younger. He omitted that fact completely, even after deep diving me on my Instagram. So I was like, okay. So he brought it up. He's like, yeah. He's like, oh, I see you have a podcast. I was like, yeah, I do with my girl Savannah. Like, da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, I used to have a podcast too. And I said, oh. I said, oh, okay. Like, what was it about? He's like, yeah, just like sports stuff. But like me and my friend had it before like everyone had one. I said, how's it going now? He said, yeah, we don't really like do it anymore. Yeah. Why can't we both have a podcast? I used to do it before everyone was doing it. Okay,
so you're better than me.
So you're old.
Great.
Congrats.
Thanks.
Great. Take your hat off.
What did you want to hear?
Take your hat off.
What,
let me see what's under your hat real quick.
Now, like literally, remove that. Oh, hairline. Ooh. Also, I just wonder when people say that type of stuff, what did you want me to say to that?
No, exactly. You should have stuck with it. You should bring it back to life. You send me an episode?
Oh, really?
Can you send me the MP3?
Why'd you stop?
Yeah. Get out of my face.
Whatever.
Anyway, Battle of the Sexes. I'll be watching.
We will be watching.
All that to be said, like I will be watching. And I hope she whoops his ass. The one thing though I will say is like the style of play between the women's game and the men's game in tennis is so different.
Yeah.
Men are like big raw power serves that like if you can't return, like you're kind of screwed. And then on the women's side, like they tend to be a bit more crafty, longer rallies, endurance, stamina. And that's why actually a lot of people who are very much into the tennis world, they do say that women's tennis is more entertaining on a day in and day out basis because you actually get those rallies, those high level situations, people running for their lives to the end line to try and make sure the return goes in. So good luck, Aryna Sabalenka. We'll be rooting for you, even though Billie Jean isn't.
Billie Jean. Billie Jean. Want to play Naughty or Nice?
Billie Jean King, our queen. We're so sorry. We're so sorry for a B in your name all over town. Girl.
Oh, I love it though.
Holy shit.
She's just a girl.
Really and truly.
Okay, so Ashley came up with this really fun game called Naughty or Nice, and given that it's the holiday spirit, if you cannot tell by Ashley's red
I wore it for
Miss
you.
Claus. Thank you. Did you?
Yeah, I
could tell because I'm like,
I knew
I walked in, I'm like,
you know I'm not Christmassy like that. Like,
yeah, you're not festive.
Themey.
You're not a festive girl.
I like a festive moment, just not on my person.
Okay.
My jacket's also green.
Oh,
I did full Mrs. Claus.
When I saw like this, I was like, she's wearing a very bright red sweater. This is giving Christmas. It's giving
loves me.
Holiday spirit.
She loves me.
I know she doesn't wear that type of stuff ever. So, and you knew, I'm glad that you knew that I dressed up as a reindeer.
No, 1,000%. I was like, okay, cool.
You guys can't tell? Reindeer antlers
and reindeer earrings. Very cute.
And a brown sweater.
Yeah.
I was just missing the nose.
You're literally Dasher.
Yeah. The hottest one.
The hottest one. Yeah, obviously. Of course.
Thank you. Do you know I named my pet dog, Dash.
I
growing
actually
up.
didn't.
Yeah.
Because of Dasher?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
What are the chances?
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's weird. I don't like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
My childhood dog was named Dash. Anyway.
Okay, aligned.
Anyways, okay, so Ashley came up with this game, Naughty or Nice, and it's very simple. Who's on your naughty list? Who's on your nice list? Women's Sports Edition.
Naughty or nice list. Do-do-do, do-do-do. I don't know what that.
All right. Go ahead. Start us off.
Nice list?
The nice list.
The youths getting a chance to be participating in the Team USA most recent basketball camp. The nice list.
Okay.
Because generally speaking, in the last cycle, it was all players who had previously established themselves. There wasn't much room for new talent to emerge.
Yep.
And now we're seeing that. And in conjunction with that, we've been getting some insight into the Angel Reese and Paige Becker's friendship, which I'm obsessed with. Like, I actually love it so much. So, nice list. Team USA
cute.
basketball.
Yeah, I love that. Okay. Nice list for me. Play Society, the Love and Basketball Collection.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
You like it a lot.
Love. I love that they even did it. And I love who they use for it.
Tasha
Cloud.
Yeah.
Love it.
Nice.
Very nice.
Very, very nice.
Well done.
Very. Nice list or naughty. Naughty list.
Naughty.
Naughty list number 1 for me. I'm sorry, Kathy Egelbert.
I was gonna say that was the easiest one. It's right there.
And it's just the layup was right there. And it's not even that I want to pile on, because I think that the comments that Nafisa Collier revealed that you made was a very bad look. I think it was the lack of accountability. And then I think it's also just like the clear fact that you have not ingratiated yourself with any of these women and established relationships with any of them outside of the court, because no one came to your defense. Old players that had retired came out supporting this narrative. And now look at us. We're in a lockout situation. We're lockout adjacent. The CBA talks have been extended, but come January 9th, I believe the drop dead date is.
Yeah.
We're going to get into some really hot water. So naughty list, Kathy, but still a chance to make it right.
Yeah, there's still a chance to turn it around before Christmas. But Steve Pagliuca is on my naughty list because he is trying, I think, or tried to take the Connecticut Sun out of Connecticut and bring them to Boston. And everybody, even the governor of Connecticut, was like, Nussa, no, you can't do that. We love our Connecticut Sun WNBA franchise here.
Yep.
So why you want to move it to Boston? And I'm not against Boston having a franchise for WNBA. I think it's great. But trying to take it from another team is crazy. And also being willing to pay stupid amounts of money when you could literally just start your own franchise. Put a bid in.
Okay.
Maybe the process is easier to just take another team, but I didn't love that.
Nice list. The Toronto Tempo.
Yeah. Why though? What in particular?
I think that basketball in Canada is something that is very important. I think that there's a huge desire, a huge appetite for it. And quite frankly, we talk about this all the time on the show, but you need to see it to believe it. And proximity does matter in that regard. So if there are a lot of young aspiring athletes in this country, the Tempo is only going to reinforce their ability to achieve their dreams. And I think that that's really important. On the naughty list, their initial logo launch.
Oh, I'm crying. How they launched. Like
well,
the leak.
The leak and then the rush
to the reaction
and
to the
naughty list. Like y'all needed to take a step back in that regard.
Did that happen? That technically happened
this year.
No, this year.
Yeah, 2025.
Wow, it's been a year.
That's what I'm saying.
I would say, like, just to add on to that, hiring Sandy Brondello.
Yes.
Oof.
Yes.
Nice.
Nice. Real nice. I like that.
Yeah. Fine. Yeah. On my nice list has to be Paige Becker's, but specifically her feature film coming out.
Okay, but with the caveat that I can call it naughty if it's bad.
Fine.
But I can be like, you never should
have. We'll find out in 2026.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'll make her naughty nice in 2026.
Yeah, okay.
It's the ... And also the fact that, like, and to your point where you said kind of before that, you know, Paige and Angel have this little friendship thing blooming.
Yeah.
Specifically, like, their Reese and Oreo collab.
Yeah.
Because Paige is now with Oreo, I guess. And then, like, you know, Angel
Reese
is with Reese's. Yeah, she's been with Reese's.
Yeah.
And so now they're collabing with this whole, like, brand. And now Paige is also having, like, a feature film movie where hopefully she's the mean girl, as you said.
Naughty list goes back to a conversation that we were having today. The naughty list is the Canadian government not funding sports properly, better, in a substantial way. They spent $100 million to help facilitate the FIFA World Cup that's going to be in Canada or Toronto and Vancouver and 16 other countries across North America and Mexico. But at stake, at like what got put on the back burner for that?
All the other sports.
Everything else.
I do wonder, okay. And
not your hand.
I do wonder.
Quick question.
I want to see like all the books. I need to be in the office. I need to be sitting down with the Prime Minister himself, Mark Carney, because I want to know what his logic was that. Because don't forget, Mark Carney, he played at Harvard. He was a hockey player himself. So why, as a former athlete, would you take away from sports? Knowing the impact.
He's not, though. He's putting it into men's FIFA World Cup.
Yeah, sure. But maybe that's what, but now here's the thing though. Think about this.
Yeah.
What is happening on the backside of Canadian, like whatever, politics, money, whatever stuff that like is beyond me. What's happening on that side?
Yeah.
That is causing you could only prioritize one. Like you have, and keep in mind, Canada got FIFA rights before he was even in charge.
Yeah.
And so like, do you want to do a sloppy job where now like things are falling off the rafters and like, you know, all those like crazy cases you've ever heard about FIFA World Cup? And so you gotta was he kind of almost forced to invest that money into FIFA? And then
was it already earmarked?
Or was it already earmarked?
Yeah.
Like this is, I just have questions. I have questions before I completely cast blame, but I definitely have questions. So anyways, either way.
Naughty list. The lack of
investment
in
naughty
women's sports.
list.
Yeah.
Facts. My naughty list would have to be specific moment was the Stud Buds outing players, basically. That's naughty.
Tough.
That's bad. Come on now. You touched it last episode with Gabby Williams. Yeah, Gabby Williams. Yeah, come on now. We can do better.
Figure it out.
Yeah, figure it out.
Yeah.
And then also WNBA league priority. Was not a fan when it came into place in the first place. This was like the last CBA agreement, not even this one that they're negotiating. But now on that list is getting rid of housing because they think that paying players $1 million is going to be enough. And not just that, only like a couple of players in the league $1 million, and the rest of them are going to make like 200, which is fine if the league revenue goes up.
Is that bad if I don't think that's like a crazy thing for them to say?
Am
I going to be put on the naughty list too?
Yes.
They have to concede something.
They have to, and that's fine.
So what do you want them to concede instead?
Well, if you're going to concede that, it's not balanced. It's not balanced because even talking to some NBA players that are not making $1 million in the NBA, who are playing in big markets, a two-way guy, for example, a New York, where their practice facility is way outside of the city, but the arena is Madison Square Garden. It's like they've told me like it's not feasible.
Yeah.
Like they have to live outside the city and like even then it's tight.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm thinking for the women's basketball players, like, okay, if you are a player from Europe that's on a 10-day contract, and by the way, this is probably happening more often than not, more often than the players who are making $1 million. And so like, or if you're a player that's maybe making a 250,000 salaries about average, and then, or sorry, the beginning,
like 220.
Exactly, the lowest. And then the medium is going to be around 400. I know 400,000 sounds like a lot of money. It is a lot of money, but like in bigger markets,
it's still a lot of money.
It's.
I think that there's a way to meet in the middle where it's like within your first 2 years of the league, or if you're on X amount of contract, housing is included. It's when you reach a certain threshold.
Maybe
it's like,
that's
then
what
it's
it should
be.
Removed the
from
caveat.
The equation. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I think a caveat is missing. You're right. I think that's the middle ground.
Yeah.
That is 100% missing in that conversation is when you reach $500,000 or something like that, housing is now off the table.
Yeah.
Because I'm just thinking for the players that are in the special, like the rookie class coming in and like this, like there's so much caveats to that don't make sense to me. But yeah. Otherwise, WNBA league prioritization rule, the fact that they want to start it a month earlier too, cutting into March Madness, and even like other European leagues that have their playoffs as well in March. Naughty.
It's a bad year to be the WNBA representatives on the Cinderella Stories naughty or nice list. Naughty list for me, Penny Oleksiak.
I was wondering if you put her on there.
Baby girl, I want best for you, and I hope everything is okay, and I hope you get back and you can do the Olympics LA 2028, but missing 3 whereabouts checks in a row is a tough look. So Penny Oleksiak's on my naughty list. Whoever was in charge of the Valkyrie not getting to play their first home playoff game at their actual venue because there was something else scheduled, because like, what are you doing? You got to figure that out. That's the naughty list for me as well. And then the nice list, I think think Victoria Mboko are young stars. Summer Walker.
I have Coco Gauff.
Summer McIntosh. Why did I say Summer Walker? The singer.
That's crazy. Summer Walker is always on the nice list. First of all, that's crazy. I love her.
Summer McIntosh as well, just for her excellence this summer, is also on my nice list. I would say the record-setting job that women's rugby did at the World Cup, that's on the nice list. Yep. Canada obviously making an astounding run to the finals. I would say India winning the Women's Cricket World Cup for the first time as well. That's a nice list thing. I feel like there was just so much positivity that like the nice list superseded the naughty list. And I think it's probably the first time in a long time, which also makes me very happy because like, what do you mean?
Yeah, no, for real.
I love that.
I think it's great that the nice list is really like stepping up here. For me, I also have Asia Wilson specifically on her Subway takes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and also the 4-time MVP thing too. That's cool. But heated rivalry. Oh, guys,
that's on your nice. That's on my nice list. My real nice
list.
My real good.
The real nice list.
That good list.
That good list. Put it this way, guys. If you haven't watched it, watch it because
alone
in the dark, alone. But second
with
of all,
a candle.
Did you know like the licensing for the show sold out worldwide? That's how good it is. Like so many people are watching it. So it's a game changer, I think, in the conversation of where we are in society. We can get there.
I'm so excited I need to.
We could get there in a bit, and we can definitely talk about this another time. But anyways, and okay, Trinity Rodman, easy, nice list.
Naughty list, Jessica Berman in the NWSL vetoing the contract, conversely.
And then Coco Gauff, nice list.
Coco Gauff's a good one too. And I would also add naughty list, just like the vilification of, generally speaking, like the African female athletes who get called into question about their gender identity, their sexuality, their strength, their testosterone, which is naturally occurring in their body, who have it held against them when it comes to participating in international competition. Everyone involved in that naughty list for sure.
Facts.
Because like at what point in time are we going to sit there and be like, can we relax? Not everyone is a 110-pound blonde, blue-eyed, whatever.
Gymnast.
And even if you are, that's also fine.
Yeah.
But like no one's the same. So stop celebrating male athletes for their differences that allow them to be great. And then in the same breath, holding it against female athletes for their differences that also allow them to be great.
Yeah, facts. Yeah, you don't really think about that. Like in terms of like, for a guy having more testosterone is like seen as such a great thing, and like as long as it's legal, like no substances. But for a woman, like no one says like, oh, she has more estrogen. Like, first of all, like how would you even tell?
It's naturally occurring. It's not like they're also taking it. So it's like Michael Phelps is the perfect example. He's like always the one where it's like he was able to break down his lactic acid sooner and quicker, which is why his recovery was so much faster, which is why he was able to outpace all his competitors.
Never held against men.
No, never. And then Usain Bolt, obviously he's just a freak athlete. He's tall as shit. He's coordinated. He's fast. So like that also is, there's no height restriction in sprinting. There's no wingspan restriction in swimming. So why is it that it's just held against women?
Yeah. I just find it funny.
I actually think it's hilarious.
Wow. Naughty.
Happy Christmas, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah.
Facts.
Everybody.
Yes, absolutely. And I guess with that, we'll wrap it up.
Good 6 months. A strong 6 months. Thanks to everyone who supported us. Thanks to everyone who watched, who downloaded. Thanks to our interns who make the show go round. Thanks to Dylan and Clayton who allow us to be excellent in their studio. Thanks to Evan who edits all our episodes, and to Glory Media for partnering with us, producing us and helping us distribute. It really is a group effort, and we talk about it all the time, but it's because it's like literally a necessity. We really wouldn't be able to do it without everybody.
Absolutely.
That's involved.
Absolutely. And everybody who watches the show, of course, but then also that said, like, comment, subscribe, send it to your best friend, send it to your mom, send it to, I don't know, your best friend that calls you in a bit of a podcast. So
send it to everyone who disagrees with women's sports and let them have a new perspective.
Facts. Open their eyes.
But yeah, it's been really good. And hopefully the New Year's will bring us lots of prosperity, lots of money, lots of love, and 2 thumbnails because both mine broke off. So.
Oh my God. That's insane.
All day I've been talking like, so.
I never, like a Sims character from The Sims 1. That's hilarious.
Like a Barbie.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Barbie. May your new year bring you 10 nails.
A new set of nails.
10 toes down. May the people in your life be 10 toes down for you, unlike these press-on nails for me.
Bye. Happy New Year.